Hello and welcome back to the BTG channel. Today we will learn about Beyond the Gates on Friday, November 21st. This episode promises to deliver some of the most compelling storylines we have seen in recent weeks, with major revelations, life-altering decisions, and unexpected proposals that will leave viewers on the edge of their seats. The Richardson-Thomas family crisis. Martin seeks guidance from Vernon. The Richardson-Thomas family continues to find itself caught in a web of misunderstandings, betrayals, and painful revelations. At the heart of this family chaos stands Martin, who finds himself at a crossroads and desperately in need of guidance. Recognizing that he needs wisdom from someone with experience and perspective, Martin turns to his grandfather Vernon, seeking advice on how to navigate the increasingly treacherous family dynamics that have begun to tear the household apart. Martin's predicament stems from a series of mistakes he has made that are now coming back to haunt him. Most significantly, he made the grave error of disclosing deeply personal and private information about Kot to his half-sister Eva. This breach of confidence was particularly damaging because the information he shared was intimate and sensitive in nature. However, what made matters exponentially worse was that Kot discovered that her private matters had been discussed behind her back. The humiliation and sense of betrayal she felt were understandable, and her response was swift and brutal. In retaliation, Kot lashed out at Eva with a particularly cruel and demeaning comment that was not only hurtful but also deeply disrespectful and degrading. The cruelest irony is that Martin overheard this exchange, creating yet another layer of conflict and tension within the already fractured family unit. The relationship between the Richardson and Thomas siblings has become increasingly complicated and messy. What was once a family connection has deteriorated into something resembling a minefield, where every conversation carries the potential for conflict and every action has unintended consequences. Martin, realizing that he has contributed significantly to this deterioration, understands that he needs guidance from someone who has experienced decades of life and understands how to navigate complex family dynamics. Vernon, with his years of wisdom and experience as a retired senator, seems like the perfect person to help Martin understand where he went wrong and how he might begin to repair the damage that has been done. The question remains whether Vernon's counsel will be enough to help Martin mend the fractured relationships within his family, or whether the damage has already become too extensive to repair. Anita's powerful confrontation, speaking truth to Leslie and Eva. The centerpiece of Friday's episode revolves around Anita Dupree, who has decided that it is time to have a serious and no-nonsense conversation with both Leslie and Eva Thomas. This scene represents a turning point in how Anita chooses to interact with the younger generation of the family, and it demonstrates her willingness to speak her mind without filters or apologies. Anita's involvement with Leslie and the Winterfest Planning Committee was never born from genuine compassion or a sudden desire to understand Leslie's struggles. Rather, Anita calculated that by keeping Leslie involved in the planning process, she would know exactly where Leslie was at any given moment and what she was doing. This surveillance-style approach to family management is vintage Anita, demonstrating her need for control and her tendency to use information as a tool of power. However, Leslie, demonstrating her typical pattern of discontent with minor roles, decided that a background position was not sufficient for her. She wanted more prominence and more recognition. So, Leslie made the bold decision to seek out Vernon and request his assistance in securing a more prominent and visible role in the Winterfest festivities. What Anita saw as a potential threat or a loss of control prompted her to schedule a meeting with both Leslie and Eva. During this confrontation, Anita does not mince words or soften her approach. Instead, she speaks directly and honestly with both young women, laying out several hard truths that neither of them expected to hear. While Anita may ultimately decide to grant Leslie's request for a more prominent role, perhaps because she recognizes the futility of resistance or because she sees an opportunity to manipulate the situation further, she first uses this opportunity to address issues that have been troubling her. Anita has become aware of Kot's personal situation through conversations with her own granddaughter. When Kot recently confided in Anita about her struggles and conflicts, she essentially positioned Anita as someone who could serve as an ally and advocate within the broader family structure. Anita makes it clear during her conversation with Eva that she knows exactly what is happening between Eva and Kot, and she is not pleased with how the situation has been handled. Furthermore, Anita sends a pointed message that suggests the Dupree family, unlike certain other family members, will not abandon Kot in her time of need. This is a direct criticism of Martin's failure to stand by his stepsister, and it serves as a public declaration that Anita intends to support Cott regardless of the conflicts happening within the Richardson-Thomas family unit. This confrontation is one of the must-watch moments of the week, as it reveals Anita's priorities and demonstrates her power within the family hierarchy. Tyrell's life-changing decision: love versus ambition. Meanwhile, the younger generation faces their own set of challenges and difficult decisions. Tyrell, Martin's son, has had a clear and well-defined dream for his future. His goal has been to attend Banneker University for his higher education, and both of his fathers, Martin and Smitty, have been actively working to make this dream a reality. They recently arranged an informational interview with Isaiah, who has just begun his new position as an academic advisor at Banneker University. This interview was meant to be an exciting step forward in Tyrell's journey toward achieving his educational goals. However, in a shocking and unexpected turn of events, Tyrell's carefully laid plans and long-held dreams suddenly undergo a dramatic transformation. The catalyst for this change in direction is Tyrell's girlfriend, Jessica, whose own future has been essentially decided by her parents. Jessica's family comes from a background where tradition and family expectations carry significant weight. Her parents have made it abundantly clear that Jessica will be following in the family tradition by attending the University of California, Los Angeles for her higher education. The geographical distance is not insignificant. UCLA is approximately 3,000 miles away from Banneker University, representing a substantial separation that would make maintaining their relationship extremely difficult, if not impossible, on a day-to-day basis. Faced with the prospect of being separated from Jessica during their college years, Tyrell has made the monumental decision to potentially alter his own educational trajectory. Rather than pursuing his dream at Banneker, Tyrell has likely informed his parents that he is seriously considering applying to colleges in California, potentially UCLA itself or another prestigious institution in the California system. This decision represents a profound shift in Tyrell's priorities, demonstrating that his relationship with Jessica has taken precedence over his previously established educational goals. While some might argue that this is a romantic gesture, others might view it as a young man allowing his romantic relationship to dictate major life decisions at a critical juncture in his development. Regardless of one's perspective, this development will undoubtedly create tension and conflict between Tyrell and his fathers, as they grapple with the realization that their son is willing to abandon his carefully planned future for the sake of love. Vernon's secret machinations, continuous clandestine meetings. The mysterious and enigmatic Vernon continues to operate in the shadows, orchestrating meetings and maneuvering behind the scenes with practiced precision. Despite a close call where he nearly encountered Leslie and Anita at an inopportune moment, Vernon's determination to continue his secret agenda remains completely unshaken. This narrow escape has done nothing to deter him from his course of action. Vernon had previously managed to convince Leslie to abandon a planned meeting that Leslie had not been eagerly anticipating in the first place and had successfully leveraged the situation to his advantage. Rather than learning from this close encounter, Vernon appears to be doubling down on his clandestine activities. By Friday, November 21st, Vernon has already orchestrated another secret meeting, this time with Sharon, the woman who has become the focus of his apparent romantic or personal interest. The fact that he is willing to continue these hidden rendezvous despite the obvious risks suggests that whatever he is pursuing with Sharon is important enough to warrant continued subterfuge and deception. The question looms about how much longer Vernon can maintain these secret meetings before someone discovers the truth about his activities. Nicole's romantic dilemma, an unexpected proposition. The final piece of this complex puzzle involves Nicole, who has made the deliberate decision to embrace a single lifestyle, at least for the time being. This choice comes in the aftermath of a significant confrontation between Ted and Carlton that occurred within the hospital setting. The tension between these two men and their competing interests in Nicole has created an awkward and uncomfortable situation that Nicole has chosen to resolve by stepping back from romantic entanglement altogether. Nicole's reasoning for this decision is rooted in her sense of self-awareness and emotional honesty. She recognizes that she is not currently in a place where she is ready to commit to any serious or long-term romantic relationship. Meanwhile, Carlton has made it abundantly clear through his words and actions that he is seeking something substantial and meaningful, a relationship with genuine depth and long-term potential. These two positions seem fundamentally incompatible, making Nicole's decision to avoid romantic involvement with Carlton a logical choice, even though she acknowledges that they share genuine feelings for one another. However, this is precisely the moment when Carlton makes a move that Nicole neither anticipated nor expected. In a surprising twist, Carlton approaches Nicole with an unexpected proposition or offer that threatens to upend her carefully decided plan to remain single and uninvolved. The exact nature of this proposal remains to be revealed, but it is significant enough that Nicole must now confront her true feelings and make a decision about what she really wants for her immediate future. Will she stand firm in her commitment to avoid serious relationships, or will Carlton's unexpected proposal cause her to reconsider her position and open herself to the possibility of a meaningful connection? This development promises to be one of the most compelling romantic storylines of the episode, as Nicole's response to Carlton's proposal could fundamentally alter the trajectory of her character's journey. The November 21st episode of Beyond the Gates promises to be filled with dramatic confrontations, life-altering decisions, and unexpected romantic developments that will have viewers discussing and debating storylines long after the episode concludes.